Okay, so as promised, here is the graphing video. So here are the 6 steps that we talked about in class for graphing a rational function. First step is I need to find the vertical asymptotes. The vertical asymptote happens when the denominator is equal to 0. And so that happens at the x value -2. So I'm going to put a -2 right here, and I'm just going to make a nice dotted line. There is my vertical asymptote to this problem. Step 2, I'm going to find the horizontal asymptote. The horizontal asymptote happens, you have a choice. If the degree or the highest power on the bottom is bigger than the top, the horizontal asymptote is 0. But in this case right here, where the highest powers are equal, our horizontal asymptote is the ratio of these coefficients. So that is 1/1. So that's the y value 1. So if I can do a nice straight line right here. So that gives us a lot of information because the asymptotes determine the behavior of the graph. So now the remaining part is just to get some points so that I can make an educated sketch. So step 3 is I'm going to find the y-intercept by plugging 0 into the function. So I plug 0 in. So that means in the top, you should have got 0 - 6. In the bottom, you get 0 + 2. That is -6/2, or in other words, -3. That is that is where it goes through the y-axis. So, or excuse me, that's where it goes through, yeah, the y-axis. X is 0, y is -3. So I'm going to make a dot right there. The next thing, step 4, is to find where it goes through the x-axis by setting my fraction equal to 0. When is the y value 0? Well, we've said in class that the nice thing about this is a fraction is 0 when its numerator is 0. So that's the only part I really have to consider. So I have x - 6. When is that equal to 0? And that happens at x = 6. So I'm going to come over here at the x value 6 and make a dot. So now I pretty much know what the right half of this graph is going to look like. But before I connect the dots, I have to answer the question, does the graph, does it go through the horizontal asymptote? And the way you figure that out is you take your function x - 6 over x + 2, and you set it equal to the value of the horizontal asymptote, which is 1. Now, we solved things like this in class today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clear the fraction by multiplying both sides by the common denominator, which is x + 2. So on the left side, the x + 2's cancel, and I have x - 6. On the right side, I have x + 2. And when I go to get the x's on the same side, here's what I notice. I end up with a contradiction. And so since that's a contradiction, since that is false, what that means is, does it go through the horizontal asymptote? The answer to that question is no, it does not. So now what I can do is I can just go ahead and I can complete the right side of this graph using the 2 points that I have and using the asymptotes to determine the behavior of the graph. It's going to look something like this and get closer and closer to those asymptotes. It does not go through the horizontal one like we just determined. And then the last thing to do is I just need a point or two on the left side. So I'm just going to pick the value. I'm going to pick -4. And I'm going to see what y value goes along with the x value -4. So when I do that in the numerator, I get -4 - 6. Okay, I plugged in -4 right here for the x, and I'm going to plug it right here for the x. And in the bottom, that's -4 + 2. -4 - 6 is -10. -4 + 2 is -2, and I end up with the value 5. And so over here at the x value -4, I have 5 as my y value. If you want to go ahead and get another value, that's great. I'm content because I know that the graph never goes through these asymptotes. So my graph is going to just look something like this. Remember, it's a sketch. It's not perfect. And that's what we're going to have. Remember, the asymptotes determine the behavior of the graph. Good luck. If you got questions, send them to me. Take care.